That's
Morning, Sean.
How you doing?
Good.
What a group of people we got today.
Morning.
Oh, Zach, what's going on, my guy?
Hey, good to see you, Sean.
How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good. How's the world over there? What are you still doing the same brand?
No. Went to Sub 2, then left
Okay.
that. Now I'm with Ryan Pineda, so
Okay. How's that going?
pretty good. It's like
Yeah.
my second week, so I'm still
Okay.
figuring it out.
All right. Well, if you want to bring us over, we'll build out their clothes. No, I'm just kidding. You can come over here. I'll give you another job. What's up, Jordan? I'm mid protein shake.
What
so
up, man?
You guys got a good morning routine? Everybody here have a good morning routine?
Oh yeah.
I feel like top performers are usually dialed. Brian Hammonds. Brandon. I don't know. What's going on, man? They messed up your name. Sorry about that. Rebecca, how
No,
are
it's all
you?
good, man. Brennan, how you doing?
Brennan? Is it Brennan?
Yep, it is.
Nice to meet you, Brennan. What part of the world are you calling or joining from?
I'm in Ohio.
I feel like I'm on a
right
radio show.
Yeah,
Where the world are you calling in from?
Ohio right now, but mainly in Vegas.
Okay, right on. What part of Vegas? I used to live there for like 4 years.
Yeah, I'm actually around Summerlin area,
Okay, beautiful.
right next downtown somewhere.
What? How did you hear about this? What are you selling?
That's actually a good. I just saw it actually pop up on my meeting today, and I forgot how I got into it. So I'm curious to see what's going on here.
Right on. I'll give you the lay of the land here in a second. I'm not sure, but happy mistake. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll find out, right?
Oh, let's see. Susan, how are you? You doing well?
Hey, good. Good morning. Yeah, I'm bright and early, California time.
Let's go. Is it an hour earlier or is it 8 o'clock?
It's 8 o'clock.
Okay, it's not too early. What time do you wake
Not
up?
too early. Bright and early. I started at 6:30, so.
Yeah, that's bright and early. That's bright and early.
We have our sales pump with Amanda at 6:30, so it's
Love
good.
it. Love it. Rebecca, how are you? You excited for the mastermind?
Good morning. Yep. Super pumped. It's going to be awesome. I love seeing those people.
Cool. Bradley, are you participating in that?
I am tomorrow.
Awesome. Christian, how are you, man?
Excellent, dude.
Mariah able to sort some things out for you yesterday?
Yeah. She
Good.
and I got on and we got some things squared away. So
Good.
that's all good. Yeah. Yep.
Love
I have a huge win to share. Like,
Let's hear it. While you share that win, I'm gonna chug my protein shake. You guys probably don't want to see it, so I'm gonna turn off my camera.
Bottoms up.
All right.
So Sean's been helping me kind of like figure the lay of the land with bringing on the sales team in terms of like hiring the right people, getting the right people in terms of culture. And we have a couple really good guys that are really starting to get after it. And one of the guys, up until he had his first closing last week, he has second closing 2 days ago, and he hit 3 for 3 yesterday.
Let's go.
Yeah,
That's
huge. Because I spent the last 6 months, like the hardest thing as a business owner is like getting to get what's in your head to come out of someone's mouth, right? And then following the process and getting the right mix. Not only that, but getting the right mix cultural wise. And it's been like a 6 month dredge. Yeah, and I'm like so elated. So I'm super happy.
Dude, that's freaking awesome. I'm stoked to hear that.
Yeah.
I love that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what would your recommendation be to keep people that are like at that emotional high and like anchoring that and like carrying that through? Like, because what would your recommendation be to keep that going, and also how to inspire the rest of the team by that? So I'm all ears.
Yeah, how new is he? He's pretty new, right?
He's never sold high ticket before. He used to sell like high ticket, kitchens and stuff like that. So
Gotcha.
he understands sales and psychology like fundamentally.
Like he's new to your world, right? He's new on your team.
New to the high ticket world and my company in particular.
And you have other reps on your team currently.
Correct. Yes.
So I would naturally he's going to raise the tide, right? Anytime you bring somebody new in, it's a great opportunity to reset the standard.
Yep.
I actually have a story about that. Remind me monkeys. Remind me about 5 monkeys later. I'll tell you a story about that.
Yeah.
But anytime you bring somebody new in, it's a great opportunity to reset the standard. So just getting back to basics on the meetings, right? And everybody is going to, if you're helping this guy get up to speed, everybody's going to be learning those same things alongside and getting back to basics themselves. So you kind of got to get to reset the foundation, so to speak, of the team, which is awesome.
Yeah.
The other thing is just celebrate the wins, right? Celebrate what you want to see more of on the meetings.
Yep.
Right. One of the things you want to be cautious with a new person is praising that person too much. And
Okay.
then everybody else on the team feels like, oh, fuck the new guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. Like teacher's favorite pet type of thing,
Okay.
so just balance it out, just highlight the wins, but always bring it back to the team.
Got it. Love it. That's
Yeah.
helpful. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Cool. All right. So Brennan, I'm not sure how you ended up on here. Maybe you applied to work with one of our brands at one point. I'm not sure. Did you apply to work for anything recent, like in the past few months?
I have no idea, to be honest with you, man.
All right.
Like I said, it just showed up in my calendar meeting. I said, let's take a look because I had an open window. So let's
Man. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'll give you the lay of the land. And for Zach, I think this is your first one of these. My name's Sean. I have a company called Gray Area Sales. What we do is leadership management consulting. We build sales teams and build sales orgs and help scale high ticket offers. So
Gotcha.
we've been fortunate to work with some amazing brands, some brands that Zach is a part of, Sub2 and Astro Flipping. Amanda's team right here, these three people, this is where they are on my screen, at least. We've been able to work together in a capacity, and they're part of the leader circle as well. Same with Christian over here, Dark Horse Commercial. What we did, the purpose of these calls is really to induce flow state for anybody who's in the sales world. Right. So Jordan, he runs Dean Graciosi's sales team, got a bunch of leaders, but also people who are selling and reps who come on here every morning. It's open to absolutely anybody. We've had, 10, 12 people on here. I think we had 15 people one time, but most of the time it's been about this size. We haven't done any marketing for it. So if you like it and you want to tell your friends, feel free to do so. It's just one more piece for us to get in front of people, share stuff we know, but more importantly, get people in an environment like this who are all growth focused, want to refine their skills, and are working on relatively the same type of things. So the way we run our meetings for our sales meetings internally is we rally through activity, because what gets measured gets managed, or what gets managed gets measured. Either way, what gets measured gets managed. And it's a great pray drive actor, get people in the zone. We'll do some trainings, any type of announcements, obviously, because everybody here is on different types of offers. You guys can come with absolutely anything. If you're dealing with certain objections, if you're dealing with a leadership challenge, if you're dealing with, a new process, looking for system support, anything like that. I prefer to keep this one a little bit more mindset, a little bit more skill focused, and kind of just get into that flow, get into share wins, see what's hot. It's also really cool seeing what other people are doing in the market, right? You hop on here and somebody's like, hey, I did 14 outbound calls yesterday. And another person's like, hey, I did 141 outbound calls, right? You're going to get exposed quickly, or you're going to see what's possible, So, and again, you feel free to bring we got more people waiting in the waiting room. I haven't been paying attention. So feel free to come with any questions or anything that's hot, but, yeah, thanks for showing up, guys. Jordan, you got some questions? What's going on?
Yeah, what's up, everyone? Can you guys hear me well?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Cool. AirPods have been buggy lately. Yeah, man, I got a question. So, I have my own thoughts on this, but I would love yours. We have been running into a few enrollments lately where people have kind of been, pushed in. Maybe their financial situation just isn't great. And it's awesome to, pull in that extra, let's say 5% in closing percent. But at the end of the day, we know that enrolling the wrong people, we never want to do that. On top of that, it's just increase cancellations. And this is probably good for most people on here. So there's a fine line of pushing and getting someone enrolled because of mindset specifically. They're tripping themselves up, and then other people who just financially it's not a good move at this moment. And is what I'm finding is when I review a lot of these calls, we handled the wrong objection. really it was uncertainty was the actual objection. Instead, we handled it with prices and bonuses and features and all this other stuff, which is completely unrelated. And eventually talked the person and said, hey, let's get in. But they were 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They usually got in with a payment plan or something. So, what are your thoughts on, really focusing on the uncertainty type of, for me, it's so easy. It's like anytime I get these financial objections, usually it's like, okay, like that's not the problem, unless we're way deep into the conversation on the financial side already. So what are your thoughts there?
I think you're thinking about it right. 9 times out of 10, the original objection that people throw out is not the objection. So from a skill standpoint and a conversational standpoint, if that's what you're looking for, I would say you got to pierce, right? Double isolate that objection, and something else will probably come out, right? But just ask more clarifying questions. Hey, totally understand. Just curious. What's behind you asking that? So people come out, what's the price? Hey, totally can get that. We're not in the business of just selling people into this. We value our success stories. We value the integrity of our group. We want to make sure that you're a good fit. So it's not exactly how we do things there, but I am curious, what makes you ask that right up front? Oh, because X, Y, and Z, I'm looking at 3 other programs. Okay. Well, now we're getting somewhere, right? Well, what's important to you? And then you just take the questions, right? So I'd say it's a series of questions. I will, though, also say another point that came up in my mind was, I used to sell some like $65,000, $70,000 education packages. And is it worth it? Who am I to say? Right. And so that was kind of my thing. I've seen people who I thought were going to do horribly beg to come in the program, pawn their car so that they could pay for the program. Right. They're spending their last dollars. And I'm sitting there like, dude, you are so far from like being successful at this. And then a year later, this dude has like 14 properties. Right. And so who am I to judge somebody's commitment level? Right. I can to some degree, if we're connecting at that level and ask really good questions. But at the end of the day, we have no idea whether that person is going to follow through or not. If they want to spend their last $1,000 because they're committed to doing this, that might be the best thing for them. Right. So from a mindset, from an internal standpoint, that's how I feel about it. I feel like, hey, I can't put a price tag on your dreams, and I'm not selling you education. I'm not selling you a community. I'm not selling you a product. I'm selling you this date with destiny that you're having right here, where you're making a commitment to change your life, right? I'm selling you a commitment to yourself, which you've been wanting to do anyway. I'm just helping you put some skin in the game so you take it seriously. And if what it means for you to take it seriously is, is pawn your grandmother's wedding ring, then, by all means, I don't care.
Yeah, I think something you mentioned, and I get we're on totally the same page, and I've been working with a couple people and having one of our sales directors, review more of these conversations, but it's more about their level of commitment, and
Totally.
You just have to completely redirect and reframe that entire conversation back to that.
100%.
Which
So,
some people just really struggle with. But
because here's what most sales reps do. They like, to your point, they start selling the features and whatnot, right? Nothing in the sales call matters until you get commitment. Nothing in the sales call matters until you get commitment, right? It doesn't matter how much money they have. It doesn't matter, if they even, it doesn't matter anything until you get them. And it's not a commitment to your program. It's not a commitment to X amount of dollars. It's literally a commitment to themselves, to taking action, to doing something, to making a change. Once you
what's
have
your favorite
that,
way to pull that commitment out? Because a lot of the in the industry right now, there's like the temp check, on a scale of 1 to 10, which can work fine, but is what I find a lot of times is someone gives they just throw a number out. It has no real meaning behind it, and the sales rep doesn't follow that up, right? So it's not like, hey man, like, so what's an 8 really mean to you? You said an 8, and they don't listen for the tonality, or so do you have some other questions there that really help push that
totally
true commitment?
Yep, totally. So obviously you have a short window on the call, right? Maybe 30, 45 hour window, right, on that call. And so you have to You have to, where do people make commitments? They don't make commitments in their head. They make commitments in their heart, right? So you got about 30 to 45 minutes to get into that person's heart, right? So you got to set that table, get them to feel some sort of connection with you, right? And get into that heart. But really where commitment comes from on the sales calls is through building up enough internal urgency to where it's their idea, right? Because you can get them to say a commitment through tactics, right? I can lead somebody down a path and get them to say what I want them to say. But it's one thing if it's my idea, it's another thing if it's their idea. And commitment only happens if it's their idea, right? And so you have to ask the questions to make it their idea. And then how you do that is you do it in a flow that creates internal urgency, not external urgency. It sounds like a lot of your sales reps might be using external urgency factors. Oh, enrollment period closing. Oh, prices going up. Those are all external urgency factors. Internal urgency factors would be the drivers that are important to them, either moving them towards where they want to be, or more importantly, pain's a way bigger driver, moving them away from and out of the pain that they want. So questions like, and when I say internal urgency, how you create internal urgency is through pairing heart-based questions with timelines. I think we talked about this on one recently, right? It's why-based questions, things that are emotional-based questions paired with timelines. So, hey, Jordan, I'm just curious, with all the free information out there, why haven't you started yet? What's really been holding you back for this whole time, right? Why yet? What's been holding you back this whole time, right? You're pairing these emotions with timelines. So you're creating the disparity, you're creating the gap from where they are to where they want to be. Other questions are, hey, you said that situation is really just terrible. Like, how much longer can that really go on? How much longer are you willing to tolerate that? Right? Oh, I need to make a change like yesterday. Okay, well, I guess why haven't you? Right? All of these are creating the timeline or pairing heart-based questions with timeline. Why haven't you started yet? How much longer can you afford to do this? How soon are you looking to experience X, Y, and Z? Right? And I think if you do a ton of those timeline-based internal urgency questions right after you've done a bunch of discovery, that's when you'll get the commitment. And then once you get that, now we can transition to actually explaining and talking to the head.
Yeah, 100%. I think is what's really happening is it's happening too late in the conversation, to your point, which is, you got to have that early on. So at the end, you don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's a whole nother skill right there, right? Is how do you create the frame? How do you set the table so that you can get into their heart quickly? Yeah. Right? You have to establish the common ground and create a little bit of urgency in your tone, right? You hop on the phone. Hey, Jordan, I know we've got about 30, hey, how you doing? Oh, cool. What part of the world? Oh, it's beautiful over there. Cool. Hey, listen, I know we got limited amount of time here. Tonality changes. Hey, listen, I know we got limited amount of time here. I want to make sure you get everything that you're looking for and get all your questions answered. There's also some things I want to make sure that you understand so that you understand how we're helping our clients or our students here. Right? Fair enough? Cool. So how these calls typically go best is I'm going to ask you some questions so I can really understand your situation. Right. And once and then I can, if it seems like we're a good fit, then we can do one of two things. Right. And then you give them the alternative choice. I can go this way or I can go this way. Right. Either it'll all make sense at the end of this call and we can get started and great. Love it. Right. Or it won't. And we can part as friends and no harm, no foul. Fair enough. They're like, cool. Yeah. Dive right in. All right.
For everyone else on this call too, just to let you guys know, probably 90% of sales calls that I hear that are lost are due to the frame, that first 5 minutes of the call. So
yeah, what's a good frame, Jordan, that you found that was working well for you guys right now?
I mean, pretty much what you it's almost identical to what you said. It's a very short. I think way too many people spend time in rapport building, like in the beginning. Oh, how's the weather? What part of the world are you calling from? I think the biggest impact you can make is creating authority. And how do you create authority in the beginning of the call is, make them understand that you're serious about your job and getting them results and, making sure that they're going to have some type of transformation on this call. because the only way that they're going to want to remain on the call is if you're providing some value, regardless if they purchase or not.
Totally.
So the quicker you can, convey value in the beginning of that conversation, and take authority. And the moment you lose that authority, it kind of just goes bonkers. It's all over the place, And then that's when you get your hour and a half long calls.
100%. Zach, what about you? What's working well on in your world right now in terms of frame or on calls in that regard?
Just really having a attitude of curiosity. I think too often people can smell that within the first 30 seconds. Buyers are smarter now than they ever have been. And so genuine curiosity is really important, really trying to find out why people are there, establishing that, clarifying that, and not so much what is being said, but how it's being said. And so we don't really take a frame of like, hey, I'm going to determine whether it's a good fit for you. I'm going to ask you a few questions. I think most people in the space are used to that, but rather even just a simple question like, hey, what brings you here today? Or what has you looking into wanting to become a student of so-and-so? So it's kind of like assumptive without being presumptuous, if that makes sense.
Totally. Yeah. We call, and I always say we start broad, right? Then move into clarifying.
Right.
Catch me up to speed. What's going on in your world? How did we end up here on the call today? Yeah, exactly. Brennan, you got anything that's working well for you right now inside of your world? In terms of framing the calls or getting into that heart and getting to the commitment?
Yeah, no, I would say the majority of ours is exactly what you just said in terms of the framing. One of the things that we tell our guys too is, to focus on getting them to buy into certainty into the program, and then, focus on getting them to change their beliefs to align it with ours. And if we can do that, then, it tends to work out well.
Yeah. And to Jordan's point, I think that if people don't have certainty into the program until they have certainty into themselves.
Correct. Yep.
Right. And so you got to get them to make that commitment to themselves. And then the commitment to the program is like logical next step at that point, right? Once they do that, it's like, obviously this is the solution. That's why I called in the first place. Right. And sometimes that's even a great one. Hey, you obviously used to say this one. Hey, you obviously called thinking there was some sort of opportunity to make some sort of change. What does that look like for you? Good stuff. Samantha, anything working well for you right now?
I feel like I'm just working on stuff. But I like what Jordan said about the authority. I was like taking notes on that because I was saying on one of our meetings last week that I think I lean a little bit too much on my likability. And I think it works really well with women, but it doesn't with men. So I'm just trying to like have more of that authority, have more of like the trusted partner vibe on the calls. Which it's been going a lot better this week. I've had people be like, hey, like, what's your opinion on this? So I'm like, okay, yes, we're getting somewhere with that. But yeah, I don't know if I have like, anything to add other than just what I'm working through.
Yeah, I would say to Zach's point, right? Tonality is so important in establishing that authority, right? It's not necessarily what you say, it's how you say it, right? You can say the same thing. You'd be like, why haven't you started? Right? It comes across as a dick, right? You could be like, hey, I'm just curious. Like, why haven't you started yet? Way different. Same words, just way different, right? So tonality when it comes to authority or agreeableness, so you can sound super agreeable and just like you're going to say yes to what you're just a yes man. If you're too excited, if you're, talking fast, right? But if you slow it down and ask a more serious question, maybe, right? Totally can change the thing. It's like, oh shit, he's like, my dad's talking to me,
Yeah, absolutely.
and stuff.
Me
Anybody else?
again.
Yeah, I use the I'm curious line a lot, or help me understand. Good stuff. Rebecca, anything you're finding?
Yeah, I was just thinking about a call I had last week, and a lot of times our clients have had like this really long timeline before they get on the call of like wanting to do something. And so I did the like, well, what's going to be different like moving forward? Like what's going to kind of break the pattern? And I think it's a version of the why based paired with timeline. So I'm going to experiment with that more. I like that a lot.
Yep. And then you really work in that tonality there, and that question's received really well.
Yeah, exactly.
Good stuff.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Cool, guys. I appreciate y'all showing up. Every day has been a little bit different, touched on a few different topics, a few different people have shown up, a few different people have contributed. So I appreciate it. It's fun for us. Yeah, let's go have a great day. Jordan, what are you most grateful for today?
Oh, I'm most grateful. I think to be able to, I have a lot of one-on-one scheduled today with different departments. I kind of oversee a couple different departments, and just ability to catch up with the troops on the ground and see what's going on with them, what their biggest challenges are, and the changes that they want to see in the organization. So I'm grateful for the time to be able to do that.
Fun leading. It's fun leading and making change, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Love that. Samantha, what are you grateful for today?
Grateful to have a support system, people to lean on when you need someone to talk to.
Yep, 100%. 100%. Susan, what are you grateful for?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just hearing similar things that like I'm going through. So it's nice to just again have that support and like kind of validation that like, it's not just me.
Totally. Zach, what about you, man? What are you grateful for today?
Grateful for structure, and just, grateful for a team that's slowly becoming bought into my leadership. Like I said,
That's cool.
I'm only a couple weeks into a new leadership role, and I think the most difficult thing in the first couple of weeks isn't like coming in and changing things, but just getting people's buy-in
100%.
from
First
them.
couple months, really.
Yeah, first couple months, first couple quarters even. So
Yeah, straight
yeah.
up. Yeah, I remember when I started working with a couple new brands, CNC in particular, I told him, I was like, don't expect anything to change for the first 3 months. I was like, don't expect anything to change. My only goal is to build relationships right now. Good stuff, man. Proud of you. Great. Grayson, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful to have the freedom to do what we do. You know what I mean? It's fun.
You
Like
mean
yesterday,
golf?
I had the opportunity to go golfing in the middle of the day, and but it's good. It's good to have those high level conversations, kind of clear your head, get some stuff off your chest, and just not be so zoned in, and kind of use your imagination a little bit more, and just getting out in the open air. And it's nice that we have the ability to do that.
Open air, the hot
Yeah.
open air. Grayson and I played a little hooky yesterday and went and golfed. I shot a 90, no big deal. It's my best I think I've never done. Christian, what are you
insane.
grateful for?
I'm super grateful for a lot of pieces that I put in play are starting to come together and actually seeing them come together. And that's a really cool feeling. Like I get to work on systems today instead of having to be on the phone. And this is something I've been trying to do for like 7 or 8 months.
Let's go.
So, yeah,
Love
this is the
that.
best week I've had ever. So yeah, love it.
That's awesome. Rebecca, what are you grateful for?
Kind of similar, but I'm super grateful for like control of calendar and like just being able to like really dictate like how my day is going to roll out so that I can get the most out of it. That's where my head's at right now.
Love it. Bradley, what are you grateful for?
My daughters. Last night was dinner and movie night, and they're both teenagers. The fact that they want to spend fucking time with me is like,
Yeah, that's cool.
okay, cool.
Good for you. Well, I'm grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for the opportunity we have today. I'll see you guys on the board and possibly tomorrow. Peace.